What's going on, guys? We're here. We're live. Welcome to a brand new Poker Live podcast. My name's Joey Ingram, aka Chicago Joey. Before we get into this podcast, my coach says I got to start doing this. So I do have one shout out to give, one ad sponsor we want to look at to give. It's actually for a company that helped me out after Black Friday when all my money was stuck on PokerStars.com. I was living in San Diego. I was not doing things GTO because I kept all of my money on PokerStars. I had $100 in my bank account, and I was like, fuck, what am I going to do? So I went to 2+2 staking forums. I made a thread, and I got some staking offer from I'm a Whale Staking, and they actually got in touch with me, talked with Shane, and I told him what I was doing here. I was looking for some companies that that I feel positive about, and he said, hey, I'm interested. Let's do it. So if you guys are in America, you're interested in playing online, getting staked, check out I'mAWhale.com staking. That's it. And a couple other things. Did a podcast yesterday, Adrian Phoenix, and I'm also doing my 84-hour-a-week challenge for this month, or for the next 28 days. And I'll be doing a separate podcast series every day for that. And man, I don't know. Let's get into it, man. Joining me today on the podcast is a young man. Man, it's been a long time coming here, guys. A young man who's been one of the most requested guests from other guests in the history of the podcast. A man who's been playing poker for a very long time. A man who's played high stakes cash games online, high stakes tournaments online, live tournaments, live cash games, won a bracelet this summer. He's a man of the world, a book author, yoga of poker. And now he just made an announcement. He's starting his own poker site. The man does it all. We're joined by Luckychewy, aka Andrew Lichtenberger. What's up, Luckychewy? Welcome to the podcast.
Wow. Thanks, man. I'm humbled for the introduction. I don't even know what to say. That was awesome.
I feel like, did I hit everything? I wasn't sure. I wrote it down, but I'm like, I don't even know if I'm hitting everything right now. I feel like there's a lot of things to hit there.
No, I'm pretty sure you connected all the dots.
Okay.
All the relevant dots. Yeah.
Good. All right. So I guess the big story, Andrew, we can just hop into this. So you recently made an announcement, kid. You made an announcement. You're coming out with a, already out. It's already open. The play money version of your website, luckychewypoker.com, already up. You announced plans to potentially turn it into a real money poker site. Obviously, this is massive news because, once poker was announced and everyone's pretty down on a lot of the sites that are out right now. So, this is like I think from a player's perspective, this is some pretty great news to hear that someone else is going to start getting into the ring and get into the poker site business here.
Yeah, it's very exciting for us as well. And, as I said in the tweets that I put out, we are doing it for the players. We're already communicating with the UKGC and some solicitors in London to move forward the licensing process. And as I've mentioned to a few people who asked specifically about it, as we receive more information about specific dates when it, presumably will be licensed for real money, I'll obviously be letting everybody know. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
It was kind of random too because Phil announced his site. What is it now? A couple months back. We haven't really heard much from Phil publicly, at least. And yeah, I don't think this was very expected. Like, what was the motivation? What's the desire? Why announce it now? Like, where did this idea sort of come from on your end?
Well, I guess I should start from the beginning. I went to India last year and had no intentions directly of this manifesting. I knew there was some chance that it could based on my friend who I was staying with and the people that he knows in India. But yeah, we were just down there chatting, meeting his friends, and it just came up in discussion. They saw me actually playing online, and they were like, oh, this is cool, we can build this. And I'm like, oh, okay. They're like, but, we don't know anything about poker, you have to help us with that. I'm like, sure, like, if this is really what excites you guys, like, it excites me to be part of this project, I'd love to help out. One thing led to another, and, here we are almost 2 years later. And yeah, I guess the announcement was I went to London for an iGaming conference. Actually ended up skipping the Five Diamond at Bellagio, and went really well, and met with some of the solicitors there, and it was just kind of, the momentum was rolling, and we just decided, hey, let's just put it out to everyone. reach out for some feedback and just let everyone know, like, hey, we're doing this thing.
I like it, man. So let me get this straight. So you're in India 2 years ago. You're in India 2 years ago playing some online poker. And by the way, shout out to India Poker, because I don't know what's happening, but I've got messages from guys in India, like for like 7 guys from India the past month, talking about India Poker's coming. They love poker. They love the podcast. They're starting their own podcast. I don't know what's happening out in India, Andrew, but first what actually is happening? Do you know what's happening in India? It seems like they're having some sort of rise of the poker out there.
Yeah, it's spreading really fast. There's a few Indian-based sites. The Indian Supreme Court actually ruled that poker is a game of skill, and it's currently unregulated in the Indian market, online poker, but they are introducing licenses, so presumably it might be heading in that direction, but we'll be able to procure one of those without too much difficulty, it seems, and yeah, it's spreading quite quickly. Previous to this, I think their most popular game was, they call it Teen Putty. It's basically just a 3-card game. Ace, King, Queen suited is the nuts. Trips is below that, and there's no drawing, no flops, nothing. So India's culture they pride themselves on mathematics. They're very, they like that problem-solving strategic approach. So it makes sense that poker would just mesh right in with them, and seemingly it is.
Awesome.
So yeah.
So you're in India 2 years ago. You're playing poker. A couple of guys are checking it out, saying, "Hey, I can build this." And I mean, like, okay, so it seems like a big step. Like, fuck it, I'm gonna start a site, because obviously there's a this isn't necessarily the most positive time for something like this to happen. There's a lot of different regulations in different countries that you then have to go through. So what's kind of the process like at that point when you say, all right, I can build this? So then, like, what do you do next from that point?
Well, they built the engine initially and showed it to us, and we took a look, and then let them know, like, these upgrades are necessary. It has to be at a certain level to, I guess, deliver what is somewhat expected of the customer based on what's already out there. So they've just been continually making updates. Currently, they're right now developing the resizable tables and a mobile app. So they're going all out. Like, they absolutely love what they do. Like, your PLO to them is programming. That's just their thing,
Oh, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. All right, so you're over there. You start the site, and one big thing you mentioned was for the players. And now I think we've all been led to believe it's impossible to make money from a poker site if it's for the players, if the games aren't raked to the point where only the site's winning. That's kind of what the big sites are telling us right now. But you, as someone who's now opening a site, are you saying that that's actually not true, and it's possible to run and operate a site and not have these very high rakes where the players really have a tough time to win?
Yeah, I mean, I don't foresee why you would have to have extremely high rake. I know that there's a certain level of income that's necessary, specifically with the UKGC, because it's sort of scalable the way they do it, from my understanding. And I'll find out more as the process continues to unfold. But yeah, I mean, it should be that you can take some portion, but make the game sustainable and not bleed them dry, and allow everyone to have a good experience, give rewards, and just generally allow poker to be played. Yeah, I just don't foresee that being too difficult.
So are you working together with some other people who are more knowledgeable about the legislation part of things, and who are sort of taking care of that side of things?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm the poker guy. There's many other guys, programming guys, legislative guys, some political guys, but yeah, I'm the poker branch of the whole operation.
So why'd you decide to go with the name Luckychewy Poker?
It was kind of their idea, and I'm like, sure, like, it's. I mean, the whole experience, as you can kind of tell, it was all just a go with the flow type of thing. So I wasn't going to fight anything that sort of came in. I was just going to continue to go with it, and that's what I've been doing up until this point.
So I guess in this situation, it sounds like it sounds like you're a big part of the site, but there's also other people who are also a big part of the sites, or people who may be in charge of the site, and then, or is it you guys working together, or sort of like what's the idea for that?
Yeah, I mean, we're all working together. We're all a team, but we all do have the same goal and vision in mind. It's it's done with a positive intention. We want to be able to offer something quality and something sustainable.
I got a couple suggestions here from 2+2. Andrew, let me read this. Let me read this list to you. Shout out to Corey. I believe Corey compiled these. All right, I'm gonna read the list. You ready?
Okay.
Here's what you need. Here's what you need, Andrew. Okay, I got it right here. They know it. Low rake. Okay.
Yeah,
high
absolutely.
rake back and other rewards.
Okay.
Okay. Software mix of Phil Tilt and Poker Stars, but better.
Okay. We're certainly going to do our best.
High traffic with fun player to reg ratio of 1-to-1.
All right, 1-to-1.
Okay, getting a little tougher. Accepting Bitcoins, fast cash outs, and segregated funds.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's gonna be tougher. Accepting Americans, Italians, French, and Spaniards without any issue.
I mean, we'll see. Like, we're going to do our best. I'm completely honest about that. I mean, I can't make any promises about that particular statement.
It's gonna be tough, guys. Banning Russians and Ukrainians.
I don't know about that. We want the international pool. We want to give it to everyone.
Oh my gosh. 24/7 supermodel MIT live support. I didn't put that one on there.
Okay.
All the poker variants in the world, including Badusi, Badesi, and others. Okay. Spin and goes are not beatable. Spin and goes are not beatable. Spin and goes are a must. Jesus. Isildur sponsored pro. 2+2 has a say in every future move the site does. And then third-party software, I don't know if they want it allowed or not. So there's some great suggestions from the wise people over on the 2+2 poker forums. Andrew, what do you think about those?
I mean, I love the feedback. I mean, we're definitely going to do our best to bring the more realistic ones to fruition. I actually think we might do an okay job at it, to be honest. But time will tell.
Yeah. Is there a timetable for you guys kind of expect to hit a couple of milestones, or is there a timetable you expect to potentially offer real money officially?
It's hard for me to say specifically. The next 6 months is kind of the window I see as somewhat likely. I know we're being told from our team, I just spoke to the project manager last night in India. He said the resizable tables in the mobile app should all be done in February. So that's a necessary first step, I guess, before going live. We really want to have the software be up to par before we take it real money live. I mean, there's just so many little things that need cleaning up right now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm optimistic about the next 6 months being a relatively reasonable time frame, but we'll see.
Yeah, so I guess on your side, we always hear people say, how hard can it be to start a poker site? Hey, Doug, hey, Joey, why don't you guys start a poker site? It can't be that hard. So now you've got the experience of some building a poker software sort of site.
Yeah.
How hard has it been? How easy has it been?
I mean, on my end, it's been a lot of work, but it's nothing that I'm not familiar with. I'm, primarily sharing poker knowledge and just knowledge of the industry and what the players want. On the programming end, I have to imagine it's fairly difficult. I'm not seeing it firsthand because I'm not currently in India. But I don't know, I guess I can get a testimonial from some of the programmers and get back to you.
Yeah,
ask them how hard it's been. But it's the type of thing where, like I was saying, they truly love what they're doing, and they're very talented. We're very fortunate to have a very talented team. So it may be challenging, but it's like a labor of love type of thing.
I like it, man. Guys, we're live out here. If you have any comments, questions, feel free to leave them in the chat. Mayanik Kohli says, Papi, I'm in India right now and killing it here. Check Poker Bazi. I'm playing on it right now. I've absolutely never heard of that site. I'm assuming it's a site, but I will check it out. I don't know if Americans can play. That sounds like something TOS related. Quantico Mofo says, why does Joey look like a backpacker in Thailand? Listen, man, we had Luckychewy coming on the podcast today, man. You know what? I woke up, I got in my room, I went to go grab my usual attire. I said, you know what, man, I gotta switch it up today. I bought this in Germany in some random place. I got this my Survivor looking bandana right here. I said, man, we gotta put it on, man. We gotta make Chewy feel like he's at home here on the podcast.
I dig the bandana, I must say. It's pretty awesome.
Much love, man. Much love. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. So I guess, I was Googling, a little, just kind of like looking at a couple of links, and from Andrew, when you came into poker to right now, slightly different kind of appearance, slightly different kind of mindset kind of thing. I guess let's talk about that, right? So you got the beard, obviously you got the clothes, people talk about that kind of stuff. So what exactly kind of transpired from beginning of your career to right now to where you sort of transferred into kind of a different person here?
Yeah, I mean, the way I look at it is, I grew up pretty basic life. My mother's a nurse, my father's a machinist. Went to a normal school, had normal friends. Like, nothing was too out of the ordinary. I was always leaning more towards the kind of introspective, somewhat antisocial life. Then coming to Vegas, doing well in poker, doing a lot of partying, and having that extroverted experience, I kind of was pushing both ends of the spectrum. And then I guess I just didn't really find it was all that fulfilling and was seeking something else. So about 3 or 4 years ago, maybe a little bit longer, 5 years ago, started exploring other aspects of life, and took a genuine interest in yoga, martial arts, spirituality, meditation, all these things. And from there, I guess I just stopped shaving, stopped cutting my hair. It just I don't quite remember the point where it was a conscious decision not to do it anymore. It was just kind of natural. It's like, okay, this is who I am. Don't know what else to say. It's just kind of how it evolved.
So I guess from like then to now, exactly, how do you feel like your approach to life or your approach to yourself is different then?
More thoughtful, more emphasis on functionality and efficiency, and just trying to see, like, what is it, like, what is the reason I'm doing this? What is truly the reason behind the actions I'm taking and the life I'm living? And, like, what is it that I really am intending to achieve? Or, what really excites me? What really makes me joyful? And then following those things. And yeah, this is part of it. Beard and all.
So I guess from the poker standpoint, how does that fit in? How does this idea of the site fit into that question for yourself?
Well, having been fortunate in poker and feeling like there was something else kind of that I could be doing, I didn't quite know what it was. And then this kind of, fit the mold fairly well. And just having the opportunity to rise in a very organic way, pursuing it just seemed fairly natural. I was like, all right, yeah, let's roll with it. Let's see what happens. No insistence on what may occur at the beginning. And now, like, it's a tangible, functioning engine. And I'm like, wow, this is great. It's incredible how far we've come, with a team that's, not so big, all things considered. But, yeah.
Is it something where if the site becomes real money, you have to move outside of the country, or how does that work out?
There's a good chance that I would probably have to end up spending more time outside the country. I don't know. Definitely would have to have an office, like a headquarters based outside the U.S. That seems fairly clear. But yeah, I'm not really sure. I guess I could have a residence in or near the office. I don't know. Haven't quite gotten to that step yet.
I think so. A lot of people say, is he going to be in jail if he opens a site? No, is he going to? I don't know. It's a great question. Is he going to be in jail? I'm not sure. So.
I sure hope not, but no, I don't think so. I think it's just illegal to offer real money games to the U.S. market, from my understanding.
Listen, man, you got guys offering real money games to the market right now. They look like they're having a good time down in Costa Rica. So I mean, I don't know what's.
I'm sure they're having a blast.
Is that true? I don't know if that's true. So I mean,
I don't know. all indicators would lead me to believe that it's not legal, but who knows? I'm not an attorney, so.
Yeah, that's true. Some of these sites saying, fuck that, man. They don't care. A lot of legal, Okay. I'm gonna go on Twitch for an hour here. I'm gonna talk to people. It's like, man, this is okay. This makes sense. I guess you talk with you and Phil, had any discussions? Phil Galfond had any discussions about his site and kind of your site?
Yeah, I reached out to him and we chatted briefly, and he said he would take a look at our software, and then we were going to chat later this week. And yeah, I mean, collaborating in some way would be great. I don't know exactly how it would go down. I would have to talk to him and get more details and kind of share a little bit more of where we're both at. We obviously, well, maybe it's not obvious. I think we both have different things that we can offer, bring to the table, so to speak. So yeah, we'll see where it goes. Definitely an open-minded person, and I like Phil, and we agree that we have the same vision and goal in mind, which is, you know, a community venture and just bring it back to the players.
Right. You know, I kind of find this funny, Andrew, because, you know, people cry, complain, cry, whatever. I mean, I'm sure I do. I definitely do too. But they complain. They say PokerStars is, you know, wants to eliminate the players. What the fuck are they doing? These sites are all against the players. And then announcements are made that, all right, well, Phil's going to start a site. All right, Andrew's going to start a site. And then the comments that you read are just like, oh, that's never going to work. What the fuck are they thinking? Why are they doing that? It's like, wait a second, guys. First of all, if you're claiming, what do you want the players to start a site? Player starts a site. Like, what? I don't understand exactly the kind of the poker world right now in terms of some of those comments, because this is what people have been asking for a long time. I mean, they've been kind of taking it from PokerStars. Now rakes being raised more, rewards are slashed again. And all this kind of stuff's happening. And now you got two guys come along and say, hey, we're going to try something. I mean, fuck, even if it doesn't work, you know, you try, right? You put it out there, you give it a shot, you see what happens. And this is what, I mean, this is kind of like the hope, I feel like, for the poker community in a lot of ways, because I don't see many good things on the horizon from these main company, big, whatever you want to call them, sites. So, I mean, this is kind of, you know, in a way, it's kind of like a big weight on your shoulders, I feel like, because there are going to be a lot of people who do look at this and they're going to have a lot of hope for this, because there's a lot of players been playing poker for a very long time, and it's been their profession for quite a while now. And contrary to what some writers might say, you know, I feel like playing poker professionally it's a good thing. I think it's great. Honestly, I think people should be doing it. And
absolutely,
you know, I guess from your end, do you feel pressure on that standpoint to deliver something, or do you feel like you're going to give it your best and we're going to kind of see what happens with it?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. Just going to give it my best. I can't do anything but that. As far as like the somewhat disparaging comments go, you know, I don't think it's anything really too out of the ordinary. I think people in their minds come up with an idea of what their ideal is. And then when something comes to fruition that may be somewhat similar to it, but not directly in alignment with it, it's a cause for concern for them. And they're like, oh, no, it should be this way or it should be that way. And that's awesome. I think that feedback is, you know, what's going to help us grow and going to, you know, essentially drive this project in the right direction. So I think it's cool. You know, people get to have their say, and that's a great thing about free speech. Everyone has an opinion and they can share it.
Well, that's true. People love sharing their opinions, Andrew.
Absolutely.
I see it all. I see them all the time, man. Yo, Joey, we hate that fucking. Well, we hate this new video. That video you put up, man. I don't like it. I fucking hate it. What are you doing? It's like, oh, thanks. Oh, hey, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Thank you. Hey, Joey, why are you having these fucking random live players on the podcast, man? Why don't you get the 200, 400 guys on there? I'm like, well, I mean, you know, it turns out the ratio from 200, 400 players to other people, you know, we're about 20 to about 100,000. So I mean, hey, you know, I don't know, and I get all kind of fun opinions, man. It's exciting, man. It's fun, but now you're going to be in the mix, and you're going to have to kind of. I mean, I've sort of embraced the opinions. I find it funny, but
oh, absolutely, me too. I love it. Yeah, it's great.
Andrew, okay, who's this guy at the series with you? You walk around. There's some guy. You're like a guy. He's like, isn't he kind of always with you? Who's this guy?
Yeah, he's my buddy. His name's David. He's also involved in the project. Actually, I met our friend in India, who's the project manager, through David. They had met at UNLV, and when we went over to India, we stayed with our friend. His name's Akash. So basically, without him, well, unless some very unusual course of events transpired, none of this would have come to fruition. But yeah, it was around 2 years ago, when I sold my house kind of right before this India trip. Started spending more time with him. He had previously in his life pursued spirituality, meditation, all these things quite a lot, and it was kind of a pinnacle of interest to me at that point in my life. Still is. But yeah, we started spending a lot of time together, and yeah, he took an interest to poker and didn't really know how to integrate himself necessarily into the community initially, so he'd just come hang out and watch, and I guess it made a lot of people kind of confused or suspicious or whatnot, but he's just a nice, genuine person. If you see him around next summer, please go introduce yourself. He'll have a nice chat with you.
Yeah, man. I remember a couple people saying, they say, who that guy with Luckychewy is? I said, I don't know. What do you mean? He's like, some guy always with him. I was like, I don't know. I'm not sure who he is. Ask him who he is. I don't know. I don't know who the guy is. So yeah. Figure out the guy. So you meet the guy, and then you guys spend time together, and then you end up going to India together, meeting a mutual guy he knows. That person ends up being the one you connect with on the poker site, and that sort of starts. That's wild, right?
Actually, I met our friend from India had come to the U.S. I had met him here previously, and then when we went over, we stayed with him, and it all kind of just transpired in that way.
Crazy how it all works out, man. It really is.
It really is synchronicity.
So when you mention you get into spirituality, meditation, kind of like, what exactly does that mean? Because I know a lot of people out there. I mean, I don't even really know what that means. So, and a lot of other people out there probably feel very similar about that.
How can I say it concisely? I mean, meditation is just stilling your mind and opening up to the idea that maybe there's more than just the physical mind. Maybe there's something greater in the universe that you can connect to, or download information from, or receive unconditional love from, or just generally have an experience that if you were limited to your physicality might not be possible. I think that's kind of a good way to put it in a sort of very basic sense. And pursuing that, I've had a lot of very profound, life-changing experiences, and I would certainly encourage anyone that's intrigued by it to pursue it themselves, because nothing really matches the empirical experience of life or anything within it. And we can speak about things, intellectualize them, but until you really have that direct experience, it's very hard to know something.
So if you're going to suggest, because I've been trying to, I mean, I've had the idea to get into meditation. A lot of people suggested, a lot of successful people that I know talk about doing it. What would be your kind of gateway into it for people out there who want to give it a try and want to try it out?
Honestly, just literally give it a try. Sit down, lay down, whatever's comfortable for you to start. Observe your breathing, start to let your awareness unfold, expand. Become more aware of the thoughts that are always going on in your mind, and then see where they come from and see if you prefer them. See if they're trying to tell you something. Try to understand kind of the basis, the foundation for what everything's stemming from. Because ultimately you have control of your mind. If you want to still it, you can do that. It may take time, may take practice, but it's certainly an attainable ability.
So you mentioned earlier you had these life-changing kind of experiences, that you went through these life-changing sort of things once you started getting into more meditation, spirituality type stuff. What was one of those moments for you?
I had an out-of-body experience playing poker once. That was pretty cool. I just kind of was on the turn, and I'd gotten, how'd the action go? It's like cut off open. I called the button, the small blind 3-bet I called, and then the small blind bet twice. And on the turn, like my kind of awareness just expanded outwards, and I was sort of like looking down on the game at that point. And I just kind of intuitively knew what the guy had. It's like, oh wow, this is really unusual. And yeah, I mean, that was one experience that was especially profound. I didn't win the pot, by the way. And yeah, but it was really, really cool, really just fascinating that happened.
Now, Andrew, when you say something like that, people are gonna want me to ask: was there Was there any extracurricular activities happening in this situation? With some,
There were no extracurricular activities happening.
Broken in this spot. That's just what they're going to say. I mean, I don't know. I'm asking what they want to know. It sounds like this is a spot where there may have been some other things sort of in place.
A completely reasonable follow-up question, but no, there were no extracurricular activities taking place on that occasion.
Okay, because I've certainly felt I've actually felt an out-of-body experience on extracurricular activity aided, of course, and it sounded very similar to that. I mean, honestly, I'm looking at my hand.
Yeah.
Where the fuck's my hand there? I feel like I don't know. I feel like I can't even whatever. Yeah.
I think kind of the real jewel of extracurricular activities of similar nature is to show you that these things are, in a sense, natural, a part of who we are. We may identify with them as supernatural because they're just a rarity, but you can move in a direction that makes those somewhat commonplace.
How so? How so?
I think it's, largely by becoming more in tune with yourself, becoming more of who you truly are, uncovering the, obstructions that are preventing you from being fully you. I think, honestly, the best thing is just to do what you love, not let your, thinking mind over-intellectualize why you shouldn't do something that just makes you happy.
So what would be some of those, something like that that's for you then?
For me, well, poker, fitness, yoga, making intelligent choices with my health, hanging out with friends, now this wonderful manifestation of Luckychewy Poker, doing nice things for the community. Yeah, just things that are joyful and unifying, I would say.
So is there something that you felt like you wanted to do before? So kind of understanding of what you just said I got is that there are things that you might want to do, but you don't let yourself do for whatever reason. And then kind of now an outlook you have is that you're going to do something that sort of makes you happy no matter what it is or how it's perceived by other people.
I was speaking more generally, just in the sense of applying this information to anyone's life. But yeah, I think like in everybody's life, there's always the opportunity for more growth in whatever way that may come for the unique individual, and whatever way they may need to pursue it to have that experience of growth. For me personally, I think I'm kind of on the path of continuing to become more of myself. And what each new day holds in store for me is unknown until the day unfolds.
What's your kind of daily routine like? You wake up, you have a normal sleep schedule, normal sort of normal system you operate on?
At times I do. Currently I'm a little bit jet lagged from the London trip. But yeah, I like to get up, spend some time just stretching, doing meditation before my mind gets like attached to all the going-ons of the world. So I'll try to get the meditation done before jumping on the computer or the phone, while it's still like going from dream state to waking state. Make some food, see what's going on. Yeah, I don't really have like a routine in that sense. And then before sleep, I try to also just have some kind of meditative calming experience without technology right before falling asleep. I don't always directly adhere to these things, but in theory, they're nice. I do feel better when I do live in accordance with them.
It's interesting. So my kind of morning routine right now is I try to wake up, get out of bed straight away, and then drink water, drink this entire thing, and then do my stretches. And then I do that before I sort of like write down my day in terms of my 2 to 3 big things, people that I need to talk to, want to talk to, and then kind of the little to-do sort of thing like that. And then I'll have breakfast. So for meditation, do you put your meditation in with the stretching then?
I tend to do the stretching first to make my body, allow my body to be comfortable for the meditation. Because really there's no way you can sit peacefully if your body isn't kind of ready for that experience. So I tend to do that first. But, it really is just a a thing that must be taken on a case-by-case basis. Everyone's so different. It sounds like what you're doing is working for you, and that's awesome.
And we're trying to see. I'm all about experiment. I just click different buttons, man. I try this, I try that. I might put out this video series. I'm like, I don't want to do it. Put out this. I don't know, man. I'm all about that's kind of what I always did with poker. I just tried a bunch of different things. I'm like, what happens if I 3-bet every button? What happens if I just raise every C-bet? What happens if I just 3-bet the small blind versus the button? Every single, and then you take it from one extreme, you figure out what works, adjust down, find that place in the middle, and then you sort of, you try to maximize your strategy. So that was
absolutely. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, that's kind of been the way my life's unfolded. Like I've typically, and it hasn't really been so intentionally, but I'm sort of at one extreme, and then I, all of a sudden I'm at the other extreme, and then I find the balance point eventually.
So even with what you're approaching in life, you you try to take that approach.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there is always a balanced point within anything where, even too much of water kills people. We know this from, I'm not sure what the medical term for it is, but obviously no water, you die with dehydration. You've heard of this, yeah? People drink too much water and they die.
Too much water?
Yeah, it happened some years ago in a more public case where they were giving away a Nintendo Wii, and they had like a hold your Wii competition. Some lady died. But yeah, just the general idea being that, too much of anything is not going to be helpful. If you can find balance within everything, seems like you're in a pretty good place. And I've actually found, of all the time I've spent playing poker professionally, that I actually think it's in many ways more difficult to maintain a balanced lifestyle than it is to play good poker, because you you need the balanced lifestyle in order to be present when you are playing, in order to kind of really want to be there. There's nothing worse than playing and knowing that, like, okay, I should be focused now, but you're like, man, I should have gone to the gym today. Like, today wasn't the day for poker. And yeah.
It's interesting. I always kind of found it where, even now it's kind of with poker, I didn't think about doing anything else. I'm like, I'm playing poker every hour of the day here. And then if I have time, I'm like, oh, I'll go to the gym, or maybe I'll eat food, or maybe I'll hang out with somebody. So that was sort of my always thing. I never really escaped to this other place, but I imagine a lot of people aren't like that. And I know they aren't like that because now I'm working with a lot of them, and most people aren't wired that way. They're wired in terms of, as you mentioned, they want to do other things, and they want to sort of do this, do that, be balanced, but it's very challenging because, as you mentioned, you'd be playing poker and you'd be like, fuck, I should have did this today, or fuck, I should have did that, or I had to do this, I had to talk to that person. So I guess from that perspective, what would be your suggestion for people to sort of able to deal with that?
Well, I would say first and foremost, don't invalidate the experience of feeling like you made the wrong choice, because ultimately any experience can be used positively. If you give something a negative meaning, it's going to affect you negatively. Just realizing that, okay, I see now that I should be more conscious of whether or not I actually want to go and sit at the poker table today is a great step in, just being more aware of how you feel before you do things, instead of just sort of autopiloting. Yeah, I think that's kind of a good place to be.
Okay. I like that. Dreamwalker, what's up, man? He says, Chewy, what's your favorite book? Doesn't have to be poker specific. Chewy's favorite book is Yoga of Poker, written by Luckychewy himself. Now, it's probably, is that your favorite book? It might be.
No, I love the book. I'm very happy that I wrote it and that it was well received. Favorite book, though? Wow. I don't know. Maybe we can get back to that one. I'll have to think on it for a bit. I've read so many books.
How many words are in your book?
I don't know. It's 55 pages or something, so not that many.
Okay. I made a bet last weekend. I have to write a 40,000 word book by the end of January.
Oh, wow, cool. What are you going to write it on?
Not sure yet, man. I'm deciding which direction to go with that. I've kind of scouted out maybe 6, 7 kind of ideas. I'm not really sure if it's going to be more poker specific or life specific, or maybe, adventure specific. I'm not really sure. Maybe a blend of all them. I can't quite figure it out, but I saw you wrote the book. I know it was 55 pages. So I was wondering how much that exactly was in terms of words.
I mean, I can figure. I probably have the document somewhere.
What was kind of the motivation for wanting to write the book?
It was around the time that I was sort of transitioning a little bit more into, I guess, yoga in a sense, and was just feeling really just grateful and humbled by the experiences I was having. I was like, man, I should really share this. Like, because I've always enjoyed writing. Back when Lego Poker was around, I used to put out a lot of blogs, and I've always just done a lot of writing. I found it cathartic and just kind of brought me a lot of peace. So I was like, yeah, it seems like a fun thing to do. Then my friend in India actually has, his family publishes books. They have like a printing center. So he was able to print it for me. So it kind of all worked out very nicely there.
You know some connected people in India, it sounds like, man.
Yeah, we're very fortunate to have the relationships that we have with our friends in India. I mean, they're wonderful, wonderful people, and they treat all the people that work for them very well, and they're just great. I just can't say enough nice things about them.
All right, I need to put that on my list. Go to India. I got to get over there, man. I got to check this place out.
Yeah, by all means.
Is there a big city there? Like a big one sort of place everybody goes to?
New Delhi's pretty big. It's about 150 million people.
That's it?
That's it, yeah.
How
By
big
the
is
way,
that? Yeah, that sounds, Jesus, that sounds massive.
There'll be few experiences in my life, at least from the vantage point I have now, that will be as kind of eye-opening as the first day I spent in India, because you just don't really, you hear things like, oh, it's crazy, like there's cows walking across the road and whatever, and then when you get there, it's nothing like you've ever seen. The traffic it's so organic. There's no point for them to have any lines on the road. They don't really worry about street lights. It's just people driving all over the place. There's cows sleeping in the middle of the road. There's dogs sleeping in the road. There's monkeys. There's cats. They're all just walking all over the place. And it all just works. It's just phenomenal. Yeah, you really should go if you are expressing any interest. I think you'd have an awesome time.
So there's no street lights, no anything, just cars just sort of drive?
There are street lights sometimes, but for the most part, it's just people getting around. I don't think GPS systems work all that well there. People just know kind of how to get around. Very, very interesting. Still haven't fully kind of digested the traffic situation that India has, and it's different in different places. Like when I was in Goa, which is a more kind of westernized area where they have casino boats, it's much more similar to an American city. New Delhi, though, not really.
Yeah, I've seen the videos where it's like there'll be like an opening and there'll be 7 cars from this, 7 cars from that, and they'll all be sort of merging together and they all go through and none of them ever crash into each other. And I've always wondered how is that possible?
Yeah, and then you live in it and you're like, wow, it is possible. Here it is happening.
That's crazy, man. My buddy Angan says, how about hygiene in India? That's a good question.
I mean, I was able to take a shower every day. I'm guessing there are some people that aren't able to. I don't know.
Yeah. Casio. Is this a controversy? I haven't heard of this controversy. How do you deal with the controversy of liking to give back to the community and playing poker, taking money from other people?
Well, I mean, in poker, everyone's trying to win. I don't like have any shame about winning at poker. And then I think, the money made is, it's just as functional as money made from any other sort of venture. And why not give back? Yeah, I don't see there being any sort of contradiction there. Perhaps I need to explore it more deeply, but yeah. I don't know, how do you feel about it?
I was going to say that's kind of how you put it's pretty interesting. I kind of think about it where, I feel like with poker, your objective is to figure out where people are weak at and then exploit them. And I guess the idea in itself, and yeah, you get money with that. So I feel like when you look at it from that standpoint, I don't know. It's not like the most, it's not the most something. I'm not quite sure. It's not the most something. I've been thinking about it a lot lately. And yeah, that's basically what I feel like the goal of poker is. I'm going to study how you play, and then I'm going to take advantage of where you're weak at. And I'm going to try to take as much money from you as I can, and not give you as much money as I can. And I don't know, something about that kind of seems, I don't want to say wrong or bad, but it maybe seems like a negative thing to have that be your mentality all the time. And then you try to go out, get outside the poker world, and then you're communicating with people, and you're supposed to kind of like, oh, let me turn that off. Let me turn that exploitative mindset off, when that's sort of what you're focusing on all day long. And that's been kind of something I've been thinking a lot about and trying to figure out a little bit better understanding from my own personal standpoint of it.
Yeah, I mean, I totally see where you're coming from. I've had similar thoughts. And yeah, I mean, the way I kind of see it is, in order for someone to improve, they kind of have to get beaten. If they're always winning, they're, maybe improving a little bit, but there's a lot of lessons to be learned in the losses that people experience. And, personally for me, I found a lot of carryover between my experiences in poker and my experiences in life. And it might be hard to come up with a direct example, but to make a kind of generalized one, say someone who folds too much might just be kind of too weak in their interactions with other people. They don't stand up for themselves enough. People can have kind of profound breakthroughs, I think, if they're willing to be honest enough about what it is that the reflective experience of poker is showing them. I kind of think of it like, in poker, we've decided to keep score with money, but there's inherently no reason that has to be the case in like a hypothetical universe.
Welcome to the Global Poker League, Andrew. We're happy to have you at the GPL showdown today.
Well, where I was going with it was like in basketball, score is kept with points, and in poker, essentially it could be the same thing as you're pointing out. Yeah, I don't have any shame about winning at poker. Someone's going to win. Why not it be you? If you truly enjoy it, why not? Why deny yourself?
That's true. I can see that. You don't play PLO. You don't play the great game, right? 4 cards?
I do play the great game. I just don't play as much as I play the 2-card game. For me, the 2-card game is the great game.
Come on.
But I do very much appreciate PLO.
It's a great game, man.
And I'm learning. I'm getting a lot better.
Where have you played PLO at?
Mostly online. A few live games here and there. I played some of the events at the series. I played some of the scoop events just recently. No luck. I did lose a massive, massive pot where, approaching the bubble, it was like I was chip lead, the guy was second, and just put in too much with queen, queen, jack 10 double suited, which is a pretty sweet hand, right? Put in
too much when you flop top set against second set?
No, pre.
No, wait, what? Come on, what are you talking about? Call pre-flop, call. call. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, these PLO tournaments, I love them, but I only get to play three a year. Some feels like 3 a year live. You play the 3 or 4 at the series, and that's it. Wait till next year, and you're like, wait a sec, this doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
I want to play more of the live ones. They're so deep stack. They're very fun. They're long hours, but they're fun. But it's just not many opportunities, right? It's man.
Perhaps more to come, though. I mean, the game's definitely gaining popularity in many ways, thanks to you. Like, what you're doing is certainly spreading awareness for PLO. Ultimately, that's how you kind of started this whole venture, right? It was just, yeah. So there you go.
Yeah, that was pretty much the reason why I wanted to promote the great game, Potman Omaha, my favorite game. And I don't know. I mean, I kind of felt, these last year, it's just not many places to send players, because you take a look at all the places to send them. You got a Stars. I mean, people, you can beat the micro stakes games, but not many people are really beating it. You got these other sites. I mean, the American sites. Who knows, man? Now they're raising the rake too. Some of the other sites, a couple of smaller ones are okay at the micro stakes, but overall, there's really not a great place to send people to go play. And I feel like a lot of places to go play, they don't have a shot at winning it. And yeah, I don't know. That's why I'm very optimistic, and I'm just hopeful about new sites like your site. And And I'm just hoping that that'll be a place that people can then go play the micro stakes PLO and actually have a shot at sticking around, winning a little bit, advancing, and then getting to learn the game a little better.
Yeah, I mean, I even remember from back when I was playing 25 cent, 50 cent online. I remember I was playing this guy heads up once, and then not that much time had passed, and I was like, wait a minute, we both bought him for $50, and adding up our stacks, I'm like, I'm only getting like 93. What happened here?
Mm-hmm.
Like, where'd the money go? And yeah, I mean, at the micro stakes, it's just really easy for the games to get blood dry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, our intention is very much not to do that. I'll be very transparent about everything that's going on as we move forward and continue to look for feedback. And I mean, I have feedback on this particular issue, but yeah, it's just great engaging the community. Like, it's super fun for me. I love this kind of new experience.
Well, I imagine it's only going to get more and more fun
Yeah,
as things go along.
I think so too.
As things go along, man. Yeah, I mean, it's whatever, man. These comments crazy, man.
Actually, oh, go ahead.
No, what were you gonna say? Go ahead.
If you go to luckychewypoker.com and scroll down, there's 3 tabs. There's one with poker news, just with different articles and stuff. We put one up featuring you.
Oh, what's it about?
It's an older one. It's nothing special, but it's cool the way the banners slide across. It's got your face up there.
Oh, to me. Nice. I'm gonna check it out, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like right now, it's an interesting time in poker. I feel like, we got new content rising. You got Twitch. You got a lot of people doing the video blogs on YouTube. You got a lot of other people getting more on YouTube stuff. Seems like the kind of emphasis in poker is going away from the poker itself and more from these other areas of the game. And I don't know, it's just kind of an interesting time. I feel like the online poker players are sort of going away a little bit because there's just not much emphasis on high stakes games. The guys, like, it's just not talked about as it kind of used to be back in the day when you had all these guys that were playing, like a Phil or Tom Dwan, Dur, you're playing a lot too. Like, all these guys playing high stakes, and they're very, people wanted to watch, they wanted to check it out, they got excited by it. And I feel like that is just not there anymore for whatever reason. And is that something within the site that you're thinking about maybe featuring more, bringing back that rail, bringing back that sort of the high stakes action in those games?
100%, yeah. I mean, just one creative idea we had was, as part of creating this poker social community, we want to engage the world of trading, currency traders and stock traders. And it seems like there's always, at least from my perspective, been a crossover between poker players going to that industry and them coming to poker just because they find it fascinating. So why not reach out and create a more, I guess, direct community experience where, maybe they hire I know I met one guy in Australia who, he said his firm actually hires poker players to have a look at their graphs and their models and see if he can, seek out any patterns. And it's just one random guy that I happen to have a chat with. But it seems like there would be a mutually beneficial potential partnership, and at the very least, it would, presumably drive some of the action, because they tend to like to fire away. It's been my experience with them.
The guys I know are fucking insane. So yeah, I gotta second that option there. A big thing I think people are kind of talking about, wondering about, are the bot situation, security, right? You got bots, you got people, collusion kind of stuff. Where do you guys sort of stand on that? What is your approach to that? Because I mean, recently another thing came out over in high stakes PLO on 2+2 related to allegedly potential bots that were found before in the PLO games are still around now. And I think, that's certainly a big worry for myself. It's just, I mean, yeah, these bots, potentially sharing cards or whatever, we don't exactly know, but how are you guys going to deal with something like that?
Well, I mean, many of the programmers that we have on our team formerly worked in military, working on security systems and whatnot. So I would tend to think that they have, very much the capability to prevent these things. Moving forward, like I don't foresee it being such a big issue, just because of the level of talent that I know that they possess. But we'll have to see what happens. Yeah, it's hard to say right now, but I definitely fully understand that it's a real threat to the games, and it's just not fun. Like, no one wants to get cheated by robots. No one comes to poker for that experience.
Right.
So, yeah, we definitely going to take it seriously and look to prevent it entirely.
Yeah. Meek says, what about poker software? Would they ban all that stuff?
We've spoken about it. I think probably we would offer some tables that allow it and some tables that don't, to try to gauge like what gets more traffic. Probably slightly leaning towards not allowing it if we had to choose one or the other. Personally, I don't even use it when I play, so that's where I stand on it. But yeah, I get that, like, as far as the more casual player goes, it's not so appealing to know that your opponents have all these statistics and numbers on you. So it just seems like it would do better for the growth of the game if it wasn't so in your face like it currently is.
Yeah, I mean, I think you take a look at an Ignition or Bovada, and you can ask yourself some questions about that, right? Why are games good on the site? Why is the action good on the site? Well, obviously it offers American players. American players are not very good, bang, bang. But, there's other sites that offer also Americans can play at too. But why is it so good there? And why is there so much action? I feel like calm down, guys, the regulars out there, but I feel like the 4 tables cap and the anonymous factor really, I mean, I think that really does something, because in the anonymous setting, you have it where, you're not worried about, you might make a dumb play, and you're not worried about getting berated on Twitter, getting berated on 2+2, people calling you out, this guy's fucking awful. Look at this guy, he's stacked up with the jack high flush draw on this spot. And that's like a big reason why I might maybe make some plays. I'm like, oh, well, I mean, no one knows it's me, whatever, kind of YOLO in that spot. And I guess from that, do you feel like you maybe draw some inspiration from maybe including some sort of anonymous factor in there? Obviously, there's other potential harm that can be done to the games in that situation too. And a table cap like that, is that something you've considered?
I'm a little bit, just not having thought so extensively about it, a little bit more endeared by the table cap than the anonymity, but both are possible. And like I said, we're open to trying different things and, possibly offering some tables that are anonymous and some tables that aren't, and just gauging which gets more traffic, and kind of just letting the results and the players speak for themselves. And, if they both end up being, somewhat equal, then, why not let people choose? Give them the choice.
I like it, man. I like it. Not used to that in poker, man. We're not used to that. Not used to that.
Get used to it.
Hey, we're taking that. Nah, you guys like it? Fuck it. It's gone. Here you go. You want to play deep tables? Fuck you. Zoom. I mean, I don't know. You want some player? You want to do some promotions for the cash games? Spin and goes. Beat the clock. Jackpot. Rake. Fuck you. I mean, I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. I'm getting fired up. It's okay. It's all right. Devin Hill, chat. Has he said anything about U.S. players on his site?
Yeah, I mean, currently the legalization process in the U.S. is fairly prohibitive.
True.
I don't intend on breaking the law. I can't speak for the rest of the members on the team, but I can't imagine that they do. So unless something changes, we're not going to be able to offer games in the U.S. until it does.
Yeah, and from doing more research about those situations, it ain't looking good, boys. I mean,
Although I did just read an interesting article that apparently some of the UK-based poker sites were considering merging with the New Jersey player pool. So if our license moves through there, as I foresee it, there is the possibility, based on this speculative article. I didn't actually read the entire thing. I just saw the headline. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Cool idea, though, because the traffic apparently was really low and they wanted to work something out. But we'll see. Time will tell.
Perth super swift. What about the Australian market?
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure under a UK license, Australia is a white paper area. Or at the very least, it's gray and people are offering their service and not getting indicted. So as I see it now, unless something changes, Australia would work.
So what's your poker right now? So you won a bracelet this summer. Obviously, you mentioned you played in Scoop. It sounds like you're still pretty active playing poker. Going forward, are you still planning to play a lot? Are you going to focus more on this other side of things? Or are you going to balance them both?
Yeah, I mean, my intention is just to balance them. I've been, as I said, working on this for basically the last 2 years and been able to play a lot of poker in the meantime. But it's also because we have a team. It's not just solely me involved. Been playing a lot of the Highrollers in Vegas, the Kerry Cats invitationals. He's done an incredible job just kind of building his own brand and drawing, I guess, more players for larger buy-ins. They have a few at the end of the month that I'm looking at playing. I'm going to go home and see the folks in a week and then, yeah, come back out here. And I think I'm going to go to Aussie Millions as well. Pretty sure I'm going to go to Aussie Millions too. So, yeah, definitely going to continue to play. Very excited about poker.
Yeah, it sounds like you really love poker, man. I mean,
I do love it. It's so much fun.
I don't. That's not the sentiment I get from a lot of people on the podcast now. I've been playing poker for a long time. I mean, I'm the same way. I fucking love PLO, right? It's like that's like a favorite thing I love talking about, man. I love.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, man. It's great. God, it's a great game. But people that come on here, I feel like now it's like I'm looking to get out of poker. I'm an entrepreneur. This or that's happening, and it's not often we get to hear people say, like, I still like poker. I still love poker. I still love playing poker. And it's pretty refreshing to hear because, it's just not something. I feel like people, I get comments say, oh, this guy said this, guy said that, but you still love playing.
Absolutely love it. Yeah, I mean, as I was saying earlier, like I really do feel it teaches me a lot about myself. Able to kind of see, oh, this makes you upset. Like, why is that? Like, oh, this like keeping your emotions in check and just maintaining your awareness and focus for long hours. It's it takes a lot of discipline. I really enjoy that. I find especially that the carryover is just really helpful in my interactions with other people, friends, family. Yeah, I don't have enough good things to say about poker. I mean, the strategic element too. It's just so great. There's so many options. And I would say, without demeaning the great game of four cards,
Calm down.
Not demeaning it at all.
Okay.
I do love the no limit. The unlimited bet sizing is very, very appealing.
The thing is, Andrew, this scenario comes up a lot actually in no limit, right?
Mm-hmm.
You raise pre-flop. You're out of position. Somebody re-raises you. You got to fold. Mm-hmm. Right? No one wants to fold. PLO, you raise, you get 3-bet, call.
I mean, you don't have to fold in no limit.
I've tried that strat before. I'm telling you, that strat ain't gonna work. I'm not advocating nobody. I'm telling you that strat doesn't work. I tried it. I thought it would. I thought, hey, I'm gonna defend every 3-bet from the button. Fuck this. I'm not folding. Turns out you're gonna end up in some spots with third pair and not being sure quite what to do in that situation.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
PLO, call. 3-bet, you call. That's it.
Undeniably, you can call more 3-bets than PLO. I'm with you on that.
It's a great game. 4-bet, call. You get 4-bet, you got Jackson and no limit. You're like, oh man, you're checking. I mean, I don't know. What do you think makes it so great? What's your favorite parts of the game?
I just love that, like, it requires you to be so just present in your decision making that one moment of absent-mindedness can cost you the whole thing. I find that really endearing.
Yeah, especially at tournaments where it's like your tournament's on the line, and if you make one bad play, if you
yeah, sometimes you play 3 days and then you just botch it all, and like,
oh, I'm sorry for this joke. I'm gonna make this joke, Andrew. Sometimes sometimes you're sitting there and you get back 5. You get 5-bet all in. You got ace-10 offsuit. You're pretty deep stacked in a big tournament, and sometimes you just make a wrong decision and call in the moment, and unfortunately it turns up not going well. It happens sometimes, and that's the thing about no limit is that make a wrong play sometimes you get and
you just live and learn. But look at that, she got the match set up, so perhaps it's a blessing in disguise.
Something's off about that. I'm telling you right now. Something happened. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know Poker Night in America. Maybe they put the fix in or something like that. But I do got to tell you guys, we might have Mike Ventali on the podcast. Now I know he said some things on Twitter that I certainly don't agree with in terms of the words he said, and he's might be literally the most opposite person I can have on besides Lucky Chewy. You go from Chewy to Mike Ventali. I feel like that's cool. You're literally going from here to right there, one extreme to the other.
How exciting!
Literally, I mean, there's pretty far apart. So that might be sometime pretty soon. So, and
that'd be very interesting.
I don't know. I think I want to hear more. I just want to know more. I want to hear more. I've heard a lot about him.
Yeah. I think it's great. You're a man of the people. You're letting people give their opinion, speak their truth, and everyone gets to have a better understanding of, hey, what's this guy really about?
Right.
Why not?
Exactly. I saw a good suggestion in here. That's a good point you just made. Special Karen said the Sunday Chewy. First place, 12-day silent meditation retreat with monks in Tibet. Second place, backpacking trip to Machu Picchu. Third place, 3-day coffee shop smoke session in Amsterdam.
That is awesome.
We might see some special tournaments like that offered on luckychewypoker.com.
Yeah, I mean, our intention is definitely to very much use our imagination and creativity with the reward system and the player store and all that stuff. We have some fun creative ideas, but haven't yet implemented anything because, well, it's not up for real money yet. But definitely stay tuned. We're gonna
put this for a point system on there. They get some whatever. I'll let them on the podcast, man. You give them like a reward. You come on the podcast. You get one of these guys.
Yeah, we can have that.
Yeah,
I don't see why not. At least
put it down there. I'm in for that, man. We'll let some of these guys. I know a lot of people want to come on the podcast, so I think that'd
awesome.
Be a pretty fun thing to do.
Yeah, we could have the GTO Joe Sunday.
The GTO Joe Sunday.
Yeah, great game, 4-card PLO. Winner gets to go on the podcast.
Oh my God, sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Can't do that weekly. That'd be like a once a month or once a month kind of thing. Sure. I like that. That's a good idea.
You can call the shots on that one.
It's a great idea. I like that idea a lot.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's a really dope idea. I'm trying to think about this site. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to speculate anymore on it because it's far away, and we can talk about things now and whatever. But I don't know. Do you have? I'm guessing you do. Do you have many DGEN stories in your time in the poker world?
Yeah, I mean, it depends in what sense of DGEN, but yeah, I mean, the first few years I lived in Vegas, you're 21, you just won a ton of money, you just bought a big house, it's going to get a little crazy. Like, I didn't really have bearings for life yet. It was funny, Tony Dunst, good friend of mine, lived with me for many years. I remember saying to me, like, Chewy, you don't use your eyes to decode life. I really thought about that. I was like, yeah, okay, I should do more of that. But just to give you a sense of where I was at that time in my life, like, yeah, I mean, I made some ambitious decisions, I'll say that much.
Like what?
Just general life choices. Playing above your role or ambitious partying, ambitious prop bets, just kind of feeling it out, Like you said, you're clicking buttons, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work, and then eventually you find what does.
Yeah.
I don't regret any of it. I think it was an awesome learning experience. But yeah, I mean, I've done some things I probably wouldn't do today.
People in the chat say the stream froze. What happened? Let me check it out and see. Let me see if this actually happened here on my end. I guess it did. That's weird. See what happened here. Yeah, it said it froze up.
Go figure.
That's really weird. Never happened before. Yeah, it is froze. It's really strange. Maybe it'll just delete forever. I don't know.
Hopefully not.
Delete forever. I don't know. It's definitely.
This is a lot of fun. I wouldn't want it to.
I know, right? Looks like it's just a black screen right now. Oh, it's fine now. It's straight now. Okay. Well, I mean, let's just continue, and I guess
Yeah, momentary interruption.
Chewy's aura must be interfering with the connection. Okay.
Wouldn't it enhance it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's strange. Now it's good. All right. Perfect. All right. Cool. All right. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm having out of body experience right now. I really am. I really am, man. All right. Is that really working for everybody? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Sounds good. What are some of your friends said about the poker site? People want to be involved. People want to work together. People want to be a part of it somehow.
That's the general feeling. Yeah. I don't want to talk too much about the sort of, I guess, internal business decisions, but there's interest. There's definitely interest.
Yeah, I mean, I think why not? Why wouldn't it be? I think players want to be a part of something that brings things back to the players. They want to be a part of something they feel like they have a say in. I think people have been a part of. They haven't really been a part of these other sites for, like Daniel Negreanu is a part of the site, right? He's the only guy that's a part of a site. He's the only guy that's has some sort of say, right? If you want something to happen, you got to talk to Daniel. You want something to happen, you got to talk to Daniel. Mm-hmm. So I feel like players, if they have an option or they have a possibility to be part of something in any sort of way, I think people have kind of been craving for that. They want to have a suggestion. They want to say, hey, what about this? And then be like, okay, that's a good idea. Let's try that. Whereas let's do this. You tell a guy on 2+2 and he's got to tell 15 other guys, 35 other guys, and then, it never happens. And instead they just take that away even more. And yeah, I mean, there's really hasn't been, I don't know, man. It's like, I feel like with poker, you've been led to believe that this is the only a lot of these other guys, the business guys, they say, oh, this is the only way poker can work. It's the only way sites can work. And the sites made billions of dollars by not doing it this way, by doing it a different way. And obviously, sure, evolution, things change and stuff like that. But I mean, with kind of the direction of some of these new sites, right? This sounds like it has potential to really just be great. I said it earlier, but I'm gonna say it again. It just has the potential to really be great. So it's something I'm pretty excited about, just for the poker world as the people that play poker.
Me too, man. Yeah, like I'm all about playing extremely hard against people, but then also being extremely loving and kind and enriching people's lives. And I don't see why both of those things can't exist simultaneously. And giving them a platform to play on that's, using their input, using the community's input to create what it is that they want. Why not? I mean, that's really kind of, I guess, if you could sum up the whole experience in a 2-word mantra, why not? It's kind of what got us to where we are.
No, yeah, you definitely be led to believe why not, because need money, man. I don't know. You gotta squeeze every dime out of it. People are using play money. Well, let's raise the play money rate. Like Poker Stars now, they raise the play money rates. They say, oh, like it's just. I mean, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Where can we get, like, looking at the sheet? Let's take it. All right, grab that money from there. Let me take it out. It's just, I get it, right? It's a business, sure. All the smart business people, they say that, but I don't know, whatever, man. Some people in chat say it's not working yet. All right, well, you guys might have to refresh it later, and we'll kind of see if it works. Do you have any Isildur 1 stories? Joshua Ruiz asks.
Yeah, I have one, but it's very short. It's funny though. It was in Madrid right after Black Friday, after day 1 of the Highroller. We're kind of all standing outside, like waiting for the bus to take us back to the hotel, because it was far away from the hotel, like 30-minute ride. And he's just kind of standing there, like shivering, and Bryn's like, "Yo, bro, aren't you from Sweden?" And he's like, "Yes, but usually big coat and overalls." That's all.
That's it. Okay.
I just thought it was funny, like.
You give him a coat or something? You don't want to, take him a coat, give him something like that?
I would have loved to. I just didn't have one with me. I'm always the guy that's underdressed myself. So
yeah.
What's kind of
your style? What's your fashion style? Do you think you have one? Do you just sort of like what do you feel like it is?
Comfort, man. Comfort all the way. Why not? Why deny yourself what feels good? That's where I'm at on clothes.
Okay, man. I don't know. I tried that approach for a couple of years, Andrew, and I got myself into some trouble. Okay, I didn't deny anything that felt good, and there were some situations, you just think, things happen. I'm telling you, you got to be some balance, right? Extreme.
Yeah, true.
find that balance right there. So
speaking of Tony Dunce, he taught me the way of the suit some time ago. I've suited up from time to time, not as much lately, but it's in my arsenal.
You wear a suit? You tripping right now?
Every now and again.
Now people on 2+2 think that when you release that press release, should have been in a suit in that instead of the hoodie.
I know a lot of people were very excited.
Yeah, who's this homeless guy? Why is this homeless guy starting a podcast? Ain't nobody gonna go rock with a homeless guy on Luckychewy Poker. They want to see a guy in a fucking suit, man. That's what they say. I don't know. I didn't notice. I was like, that's a sick hoodie. I like the outfit. And then comments come down and I'm like, oh, okay, I forgot. They gotta be like professional. I mean, you know, I don't know. I'm not. I lean towards your way, right? I'm not necessarily the most professional with my. I just like to have a good time. I like to, you know, what was how did you word it? Do what makes you feel good. I like to do what makes me feel good. Sometimes that's not. Yeah, sometimes it's GTO for me, but it's not GTO for the other people, the professional people out there. So
yeah, for sure.
You know, I imagine you make a lot of. You probably do some things that aren't very perceived as professional, or it's the same as most people kind of do, conform to society norms sort of thing.
You could say that would probably be an accurate statement. Yeah,
I can see that. What's the fashion like? What's it? Does it have a name? Like people, I know some people out there like they want to like they want to be that. They kind of want to dress like that. They want to wear, you know, I don't know, kind of the unique clothes, unique style, something that people identify with you, sort of thing.
Well, actually, should be ready either today or tomorrow.
No, not a Luckychewy Poker clothing line.
Yeah.
No, what?
Yeah.
I'm in.
we actually don't have Luckychewy Poker clothes printed yet, but again, my same friend in India, they also have a clothing production facility.
What are you talking about? They have a clothing. What do they have? They have one of everything. They're in the military clothing production. What is it? What the hell?
Yeah. The website's burkechewy.com. BURKE Chewy.com. It's awesome. They actually have a machine that takes bamboo and they can extract the silica from the bamboo, and they were able to make us organic clothes. And
why wouldn't they do that? Makes sense. What's the name of the site?
burkechewy.com. BURKECHEWY.com.
All right, got it. BERKE.
BURKE.
BUR?
BURKE.
We're gonna have to, this might be a problem here. This might be a problem for the brand. People don't know the name.
Well, once it gets public, you can just click the link. But for the time being, we'll have to tough it.
Okay. Let me check this out. Oh shit! I'm in. Hey, that's you.
That's me.
I like that hoodie, man. I'm in. Dang, is that you? How do you put your feet up that high? You can't do that. That can't be you at this beat. Oh my god. Yeah.
The human body's pretty incredible.
Oh my god. I never even knew a person could bend that way. That's you guys got to see this. Go to burkechewy.com right now. BURKE Chewy.com. Chewy doing the craziest pose. I've never seen anybody do this in my life. Hold on, guys. I'm trying. I wish I had like a thing here. I'm telling you, man. He's like, guys. He's got hit this foot on his head, this foot back here, and he's bent back like this with this foot. I can't even. I want to put the camera down and try this, but I can't do it, man. I don't know, man.
I promise you could do it with a little bit of practice. Maybe a lot of practice, but you could definitely do it.
I mean, your foot's touching your head, brother.
Yeah.
How long do you think it would take me to do that?
I don't know enough about you. Do you ever do gymnastics? Do you ever do...
I do a lot of stretching and yoga and foam rolling right now for basketball.
How's your psoas? Like, how's your front splits?
My what?
Front splits?
My front splits?
Yeah.
Like doing the splits?
Yeah.
No, that's not me. I don't do splits.
Maybe a year. I don't know. Maybe less. Just a guess.
A year. Okay. Might try it out. People in the chat say some people say it's frozen. Some people say it's working fine. Yeah, I don't know what's happening, guys. Either it gets saved on there, it doesn't. I don't know. It's not me. It's never happened before, so who knows? We'll see what happens if it gets saved or not. So I don't know, Chewy. This might be lost forever, man. It might just be me and you having a chat here, and
I sure hope it's not lost forever. It would be great to share this with people.
Well, I think I think some of it will be. I mean, I guess we'll find out. We'll find out what comes up. Some people it's there for, some people it's not there for. If people just miss me stretching, that's sorry. You just missed it out, man. That was What? Okay, okay, let's do this, right? I'm going to try to be able to do that in 1 year. Okay. Where do I start?
I mean, just creating movements that are either the adaptation of how far you can get based on looking at the picture and attempting to do it, or just other similar stretches that are working the ligaments that are associated with that stretch. So
can we be a little bit more specific? Can you put me maybe a routine, maybe like a video or something you point me to? I can get started with that.
Okay. Perhaps I can just make you a short video.
I'm in. Now we're talking. I'm in. I am 100% going to try. I'm doing these crazy challenges now, and I really want to. I want to be able to do that because I've been stretching a lot. I'm big into it. I just haven't really taken that next step past that. So I'm very much interested in that. That sounds dope.
Awesome. Yeah, I would love to help you.
I'm in. I met this guy at the gym. Right, he's like 62, doing the craziest stretches all the time, and I was like, man, how do you do that? And he's like, yoga.
Yeah.
And I started trying it. So
awesome.
Yeah, people in chat, it's freezing for a few seconds. Hey, listen, guys, I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you, people in the chat. I don't know. Hopefully it comes out okay in the end, but yeah. I'm doing the same thing I always do here.
Worst case scenario, we do it again, run it back in a week.
I'm in. Sounds like does anybody have any questions maybe? If anyone can watch this or not? If not, we can not do that. So you say you have planned, you have going to Aussie Millions, you're going to go to Macau, you said after that?
No, but I'm going to take that as a sign from the universe that perhaps I should be in Macau after that. So we'll see what's going on.
Don't they have something? Is it something big in Macau or Manila or something after the Aussie Million one?
I don't know. I haven't taken that close of a look at the schedule, but it would make sense. Like if people are in close proximity, why not hold an event then?
Yeah, I might have it off. I'll get kind of confused because now you got PCA, you got like the EPT. I don't even know anymore, man. They all sort of blend together for me. I don't play tournaments also, so I don't.
They do blend a little bit.
Yeah, it's just like high roller here, 25K there. This guy won a high roller here, while 3 other guys won a high roller there. And I don't know. It's kind of hard to keep track of.
Yeah, it's so impressive. Guys like Seidel who make it to almost every stop, and you're just like, wow, that is just incredible discipline. I personally can't do it. I feel that I burn out too easily. I need more balance, but he just keeps on trucking through and has great results. It's just amazing.
Maybe he doesn't have any balance at all. He's just poker all the time.
Maybe he's found a balance within poker all the time. Who knows? But I think he does branch out and has whatever experiences he needs to make the poker experience more comfortable when he is playing. You kind of have to.
So what do you think he does then?
Whatever's relaxing for him, just to take his mind off the game and let him come back refreshed the next day. Whether it's going to see shows, nice meals, hanging out with friends. Yeah.
Nice women.
Yeah.
Yoga, stretching.
Yeah.
It could be. I'm trying to get some of these clothes, man.
Absolutely.
I need some clothes. I love wearing I love the clothes.
Clothes are great. And these are awesome quality clothes. Like, one thing I'll say is that with anything I involve myself in, I really do appreciate quality and knowing that it's something legitimate that you're giving another person. I really do feel that is very important.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
What else do you apply that to then? Besides maybe besides clothing, what else would you consider that you feel that way would apply to something, or whether it's an interaction or something you give or yeah?
I guess just anything in life. Just, doing your best to be yourself and, giving whatever it is in that moment, like you said, whether it's an interaction or a material item, giving it earnestly, honestly. I like that philosophy.
Interesting. I do too, man. I do too. It's interesting stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody can see us, so it's interesting stuff. I mean, hey, it's You know, it's cool to. Is anybody watching? Someone tell me, please. Someone tell me what's happening here. I don't know what's going on here. The hangouts have decided to go crazy, and now they're. I don't know what's happening. Josh says play money free rolls for Luckychewy clothing discounts.
Great idea.
Yeah, do you have any sort of free roll giveaways right now with anything you guys are doing?
No, we've actually just been talking about that though, and we'll see what develops. Just have to make sure legally that's legitimate.
Yeah,
assume it is, but I'm not the legal department yet. Although the idea of studying law does fascinate me, largely because of the philosophy behind it. But it seems like something that's helpful to know.
Probably, yeah. I'd imagine so.
Yeah.
I would imagine so. I've asked the chat. Can anyone see? No one's responding. I don't know. We might need to do a part 2, I guess, next week here, actually. Bring it on back and see if...
By all means.
We'll see if... What the fuck? I don't understand, Chewy, you know? I mean, hey. I gotta breathe, right? You say breathe? You gotta breathe, calm down a little bit?
Yeah.
Accept it in here. What's kind of you have any sort of immediate plans here coming up in the next couple of days? Just poker. You said the high rollers. You going back home?
Yeah, going back to New York. I grew up on the island, Long Island. So just gonna go see my parents and kind of surprised them a little bit. Wasn't sure I was gonna go. Just booked the flight last night, but they're gonna be very happy to see me. I'll be happy to see them. It'll be nice.
They don't even know you're coming?
No, they do now, but
oh, okay.
Yeah. I was thinking it's kind of fun to do things that are a little bit surprising. So I was thinking it would be interesting to just turn up, but not the most practical decision.
Yeah.
So I gave Moms a call, and she was very happy.
Well, everybody in the chat says it's broken, so.
Okay.
Hey, guys. Perfect.
Who knows why, but let's give it a positive meaning.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows why? So I can't refresh stream on my end. So, all right. Well, hey, let's put it up. Let's put it on the back burner for a part 1, and then we'll come back. We can do part 2. Wait, next week. You good? Next week?
Yeah, I'll be actually at this time right now. Next week, I'll be on the plane. But yeah, we'll sort it out.
Cool. Let's do it. Let's do it early then. Let's do it either Monday or Tuesday.
Okay. Cool.
Cool. Sounds good.
Yeah, just let me know.
Yeah, man. I'm anxious to see what happens, and we'll continue this. We'll continue this next week.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Nice chatting with you guys out there. If you can see this, I literally don't know, but much love if you can. Thanks for the comments, questions. Let me know what you thought. Make sure you like. My coach says I got to ask for likes. I don't know why. Some YouTube algorithm, something like that. So that's it. Peace out. Adios.
See ya.
You guys later.